Hey guys, back again. Finally had a little bit of time, and I was just thinking. I was looking at this. I mounted it recently. So it's still drying and have it painted, pins everywhere. But one of the things that is pretty often questioned is somebody will bring in a Greenwing, and then they'll say, "Hey, is this a good bird?" Or what do you think about this bird? Or it's if you have a bird that doesn't have it, it's hard to explain uh, what it should have or what it could have for it to be, like creme de la creme. So there's a few species like that. I would say this kind of bird here is, out of 10 green wings, let's say that I get, maybe one will have this black stripe. The most of them don't, because it's the last group of feathers that grow in on a bird as it develops its plumage. So most of it, a good ponytail is always nice, but they're going to get those pretty early. So it's nice, but keep in mind you're really only going to see that pronounced on like a standing bird. It is a cute little feature. I do like it. That's why I kind of like kick it up a little bit, a little mullet kind of thing. The stripe is not. I don't know. I mean, it'll vary because I've seen some that are like super stud plumage, but will have a barely visible stripe, and some that are kind of crappy, but they'll have a huge whopper. Like this is a pretty good size one actually for a Greenwing American. But as far as stuff that comes in, second to last is going to be the side pockets. So after you get a bird, lift the wing up. Mass majority of the time, you're going to see a big row of brown feathers about the width of the tweezers going down the side pockets here. Now that's not a killer kind of thing, because if you do it flying, obviously you're not going to see it. So then you're going to be kind of reverting back to, does it have a decent stripe? Does it have, a fluffy head? But for standing bird, or just in general, as far as like, is this bird, the best it can be? Obviously solid gray like this is going to be, that's the second to last thing to come in. The very last thing is there's a little group of feathers in the scaps that make up this black stripe. Most won't have it. They will if you were to pick the scaps up on a bird right after you get it. You'll see little black pin feathers in there as they're growing. You can see on this one. So this black one right here is part of the tertials of the wings. So all green wings will have this part of the black stripe. You can see this one has maybe two, three feathers that hadn't grown in, that would have completed the line. So like on a ideal kind of thing, it would be, the black would start from up here, then you could kind of connect it with this, and it makes a real pretty nice black stripe. So I just get asked it a lot. I get asked a lot about that. And there's a few species that, once I've told people, again, like I was initially saying, is that if somebody brings something in, you're like, well, normally if you're looking for this and that, and if it doesn't have it, then people kind of look at you like, well, I don't know, like, it looks like a pretty Greenwing, it's got a big ponytail. So that's why with this one that actually has a pretty decent black, minus, the gap, I thought it was a good one to show. So next time you get a Greenwing, again, you can counteract stuff. So if you're going to do it flying, side pocket's not as big of a deal. The black is still cool because, on a flying bird, if you get to see those big black strips, next time, or look at a Greenwing mount, or look at a lot of the in-season pictures that you may have, and you'll start to notice pretty quick that the majority don't have this. And some places up north, real late in the season, not most, but a good portion will have it. The Ducks Unlimited pictures are real misleading because, they're all taken in springtime when the shovelers are all perfect white and every bird is just freaking perfect, and, all that. So it's not really a good representation of hunting season, what you're going to expect. But anyway, so I just wanted to do a few videos. I thought it'd be a cool thing to, it's kind of like once you see it, you know exactly what to look for. And so if you, as a hunter wanting the best bird possible, this is really kind of for me anyway, the defining factor. And then as a person who's mounting it, if you get a stud bird in to begin with, the odds of, you know, getting a nice stud bird mount and the end product is obviously much higher the better the bird is to begin with. So, and then that's kind of a, let me pull him down. So you can kind of see it's a small group. I'll fix it in a minute. It's just, you know, it's just several feathers that make up the line. Like I said, man, I wish I had a couple more there to make that line, but so last thing, you know, so the head, you know, they'll have that pretty often. The chest, you can have some with a spotting. Like this one, the spotting isn't anything immaculate. Sometimes you'll get real pretty spotting, which I kind of prefer. Backside, they got the same thing going on. Hold on, let me move them. You got black tertial feather. You've got the little gap here, because you got to figure they're growing in at the same, going to be the same kind of on both sides on a bilateral thing. So anyway, I'm going to do a few species, kind of a what to look for like a trophy Greenwing, and there's a few other, obviously, like I'll do shoveler, I might do blue wing, cinnamon. There's a few, but kind of once you, most birds, you know, will have like a group of feathers. Generally, too, it's normally the scaps that are kind of the last thing for whatever reason to fully come in. The side pockets, I'll see a lot more with. Normally, this is in conjunction where if you have brown, you probably won't have black. If you have black, it's probably going to be gray, that kind of thing. So it's probably pretty closely timed out. So anyway, guys, I appreciate it. And I will hopefully be getting some more videos up. Finally had some time. And I'll be doing, as kind of cool, good specimens come up, then I'm going to do these kind of videos to kind of explain a few things. So anyway, thanks, guys.